New York. Wolverine finds himself webbed up between two buildings. His wrists are facing the sides of his head and leaving him unable to move. Earlier that day, Spider-Man is hanging outside a building in New York, eating donuts, while Wolverine is across town, speaking to Scott Summers on the phone. He is on the trail of a mutant that has been picked up by the X-Men's locating devices. As he wanders off, he thinks that at least Xavier had an excuse for sitting on his rear all day. Meanwhile, Spider-Man spots some action below. An armored vehicle has been knocked out by what appears to have been an explosion in the street. Spidey webs his briefcase to a streetlight and lands with a thump on the van's roof. He then swings around and takes down two criminals. He grabs his case and swings away at speed as he's late for a class. He quickly changes back into his regular clothes and rushes into the building. He finds his boss is already there taking roll. He takes Peter into the hall and asks him to get a handle on this scheduling situation. He doesn't want to see him coming in late again. Peter apologizes and promises it won't happen again. A few hours later, Peter enters the cafeteria and sits down with Kyle and Miss Bradley. He tells a little white lie, informing them that his wife forgot to turn the alarm back on. It happens more times than he cares to admit. As they eat, a fight breaks out in the cafeteria, and Peter jumps in to try and break it up. Before he can do much, though, the guy being jumped by several other students stands, and with his fists glowing, he throws the lot of them off him. Peter is speechless. He tells the kids to finish their lunches. They're going to have to see the principal for this. That afternoon, after school, Paul Patterson is walking home, listening to some music with his Walkman. Parker catches up with him. He asks if he has a minute. He heard about the incident at school and wonders if he wants to talk about it. Spidey decides to take this conversation elsewhere. He grabs Paul and uses his webbing to lift him high onto a nearby building. He asks Spidey when he first got his powers. Peter tells him that he was in high school and was just a little older than Paul. Paul wishes he didn't have powers. He's always hurting people. Behind Spider-Man, a familiar snikt breaks up the conversation. Before Spider-Man can turn, Paul places his hands together and creates a blast that knocks Wolverine clean off his feet. Spidey asks Paul why he did that. Wolverine, one of the good guys. Spidey tries to keep him at a distance, telling him to give the kid a minute. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Unfortunately, Paul blasts Wolverine again, sending him rolling over and over to the edge of the roof. Spidey turns and asks why he keeps doing that. Paul replies that he was going to attack them. Spidey tries to say he wasn't, but is rather unclear himself. Wolverine has had enough. Spidey swiftly carries the kid out of danger and jumps off the building with him. Spidey asks Paul to stand back and not to zap Wolverine again until he's got the situation under control. Wolverine lands and warns the wall crawler to back off. He doesn't have any idea what this kid's about, and he's coming with me one way or another. Spider-Man takes the initiative. Without response, he jumps over Wolverine and fires webs at both his hands. Spidey leaves Logan webbed up, off the ground, and with his wrists facing his skull in order to prevent him from slicing the webbing and escaping. Wolverine thinks Spider-Man is being stupid, as he has no idea what's going on. He may have lost his temper, but being stuck there isn't helping anyone. The kid is dangerous. He is soon free, and knows that all he has to do to get on Spidey's trail is to follow the scent of bad jokes. Meanwhile, Paul takes Spider-Man back to his house, the one where Logan was earlier. He asks if he wants to go inside, and Spidey replies that he's sure Wolverine is on his way, so it'll probably be better if he's around when he arrives. Spidey asks if his parents are home. Paul informs him that his mom left a while ago. He lives there with his dad. He's in the bedroom down the hall. Spidey knocks regardless and doesn't get any response. He pushes the door open. As the door opens, he is welcomed by the appearance of Paul's father, who is in an advanced state of decomposition. Is he dead? Spidey asks. Behind him, Paul's eyes begin to glow. Well, yeah.